We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome to These Unprecedented Gays, featuring Joe Granelli and Paul Smith. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review wherever you stream your podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at tugayspod and email us at tugayspod@yahoo.com. We hope you enjoy.
Full filet mignon, right?
No. They slice it for you.
Okay, so can you tell them what size slice you want?
Yeah,
Oh.
actually you can.
And then,
If you want
just
a
go like
rare
more,
or a non-rare.
more.
Yeah.
What does it say? Like, not back in the day, like when you were younger, oh my God, like when it's like, I want more like cheese or whatever, is it like more? Do you say more?
Well, okay, so what you do is they have little like round like discs, and one side is red, one side is green. And so you turn it over if you want them to come by to green, if you want them to come by your table with meat.
Oh, like a puck?
Yeah, like a puck.
Oh.
And then, or you turn it over to red if you're like, I need a break for a second.
Is it per person or per table?
I think per person.
Yeah. Oh.
Depending. It like depends, like where you go.
The last one we went to was just the two of us. Too,
Yeah.
So maybe it's different with bigger tables.
Right.
But yeah. What are we talking about here, everybody?
Oh. Well, I'm Paul.
And I'm Joe.
And we're these unprecedented gays.
And we're talking about meat.
We're talking about meat because we're going to Fogo de Chao tonight.
Yeah,
for
which
dinner
is Brazilian, not Asian.
Yeah, for Nick's birthday. We're very excited to celebrate. Yay!
And you're back.
And I'm back.
She's a worldwide. She's Mr. Worldwide. She's Mr. Worldwide.
I answer to everything.
They are miss them. Miss them?
Is it like MX or something that they
Mixter? I don't know what the non-binary
Tugums.
Tugums.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Mixum? I like Mixum.
I like a Mixum too.
It sounds like a drink. Like, oh yeah, I'm a Mixum.
Yeah.
Or like you're a Vixum.
We use
Vixen.
G.
G?
X-I. G.
G. Wait, is that it? Is that a word? Oh, I was like, I have no idea these things.
MX is the
MX. Look at
Yeah.
you, Paul.
I know. Like
You are
why
so-
you okay. That's
You know how MX is pronounced.
That's this.
Mooks.
G.
Stop. That's like when you told me, like, oh my God, what was this cereal? Oh my God, it was. I don't know, something, and you're like, oh, that's it's Chinese for cardboard.
Oh, Kashi.
I bought it.
You were like, really?
I was like, oh my God, well, that makes sense. Anyway, what were you
That
going to
was
say?
the second time somebody has doubted that I'd known something.
Today?
Like,
5 minutes.
The last 5 minutes, like, because you guys were like,
Wait, what was the other doubt?
MX is the right one. And then Andy was like, when I said that Portuguese is the
I was there
language
for
of the
that.
Brazilians,
Yeah.
he was like, no. And it's like, oh yeah, it is.
So
right.
the takeaway is Paul knows all.
I know
Paul
little
knows
things about
all.
everything.
Yeah,
See?
that's the best. So, but like, would you be good on Jeopardy?
Oh God, I don't know.
Because they know. Well, no, they don't know little things about. They know like lots of things about everything.
Yeah, those are deep dives.
Yeah.
He's good with name that tune.
Like trivia.
he can name that song.
If it was like Britney or like pop goddesses or something like
90s
that,
hip hop.
90s hip hop, X-Men, that kind of thing, I could get by. I would be able to
I'll
do the
take
cult.
geological water wonders for.
Yeah, see, I could do that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever played
Stalagmites.
Trivial Pursuit?
No, wait.
The little one where you have to get the wedges of color in your.
Is that the one where you have to conquer the world?
No.
That's
Risk.
Settlers of Catan.
Oh,
Not Trivial Pursuit.
okay. No, Settlers Catan is totally different. Andy
just-
did not go there.
No. Sorry, because I remember like there's the one where it's like your Settlers of Catan is like you have to conquer the
The
world.
Settlers of Catan. Once.
Oh, yeah. Was that on the Nile?
So much. I love that
Is it
game.
a game? No, Trivial Pursuit's like a party game where you have to answer trivia questions.
I've never played that.
It's a lot of
Alright.
fun.
We're going to
We'll
do
play
an
it.
episode where we play trivia.
Actually, that'll be a great game, yeah.
I've done like
We'll have to call it something else. So,
Cranium. What's the other one? Oh my God, where you have the like
Bop It.
not bop. It's like the one
Operation?
you can't say the word, but it's like
Taboo.
Taboo. I love that one. And then there's another one that's similar where like you have like a list of words that you can't say. Oh, I forget what it is.
Charades.
Yes, charades.
So how was your week, Joe?
Not anything to phone home. Well, oh wait, I lied. Well, it's been like what, 2 weeks-ish since we've seen
Something like that.
a week and a half. We'll say a good 10 days.
Yeah.
It's a nice in between. Well, actually, no, I lied. So we went to Six Flags for Nick's birthday, so he can kind of get into that. But Six Flags roller coasters are like insane. Have you been to Six Flags Magic Mountain? So I love a roller coaster. And I learned that Nick also loves a roller coaster. But, like, I love just, like, sitting in the back of the roller coaster and you just feel the G-forces. Like, when you are going, like, and you're on the upside-down part where you're, like, I think my, like, kidney's in my nose now.
Yeah, because the back is, like, the
so
whiplash.
Good. Oh, it's so good. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to pass out.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go so fast that I pass out. So we did Six Flags, and we drove up on Saturday?
Which was, like, gay day at Disney.
Well, and we didn't do that because it was expensive.
Yes.
Real expensive.
For
It
the
was
one,
like,
just for one part, like in the park hopper, it was so expensive.
I think it was like $500 a ticket.
Oof.
Right. Well, and so what we did is we got the
Flash Pass.
Flash
The front of
Pass.
the line pass.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm gonna tell you, like, add that to your budget to like pay extra for it, because we were able to go to the front of every single line and like we're able to hit all the rides. And, like, we didn't have to wait for anything.
Yeah.
So that's the way to do it. But there's, like, there's just some rides on there that are very, like, thrilly, if you want to call it that. Like, there's one called X2, and it's, like, I was telling Andy this, that you're, like, on... Pardon me. Oh, excuse me. You're on the roller coaster, and you're, like, then in your independent, like...
Pod.
Axes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of, like, the terminology, like...
So there's like a cam arm coming off
Right.
the track.
Right, yeah. So if you're like, I'm trying to like explain to listeners, like if you're like,
So you can see a picture of it right there.
Oh, you know what? Okay, so
but
it's
you like
kind of-
independently spin while spinning. It is crazy.
Oh hell,
Girl,
no.
so-
It's
so much fun.
So while
much
the
fun.
roller coaster is going upside down in a loop, you are then independently looping. It is insane.
Oh, and you're going
No.
backwards.
Oh,
the ride's
God.
And there's
backwards.
flames. Girl, it's so good. And we're not talking about me. Yeah, no, there's
No!
like fire. There are fire features.
They're showing us the pictures, and I'm like, no, why don't they
Like-
do a flame feature?
So like we had no clue because we were like you get towards the end and then it's just like this warmth and you're like what the fuck, and we were sitting in the back, so
It was a lot of fun.
it was really good.
Just one question, like, if you're sitting next to Nick, do you spin the same or you're even
Same.
independent?
We're together.
You're-
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's basically two sides of whatever the ride. Like the ride is like a middle pole, if you will, which is like the cart, and then there's two like arms. That's a good way of describing it. And then those arms are like they lock together. So if you're on the left arm, you and your partner are going to be doing the same thing because you're in like the same seat.
But you're not necessarily the same as the right.
No,
but do they try to balance out the sides? Because
who the fuck knows,
No.
girl?
Oh,
I don't think it was balanced because I was too busy spinning and looping and looping and all the
Oh my
things
God,
to
what if you
even
throw
know.
up? Like, are you gonna get it in your face? And
Well,
stuff?
so Madison was like gonna throw up. He wasn't, but he was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna throw up," and I was like, "Go for it! It's gonna go right back in your face." Like, joke's on you. It's like you're gonna go like it's gonna go right on your face unless you do it backwards. Like if it's like a part where you're like going backwards or something.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Then
not
it's
a
just
smart
gonna hit your
move.
shoes.
Right.
Friend of the program, Steve, said that this ride is what ruined roller coasters for him.
Oh, really?
It's been like 16 years since he's maybe not that long.
And I
but-
can see why. Like it's called X2 and it's
maybe
like
it's-
extreme.
or maybe it was
for a
2016
reason.
that he went. Sorry.
It's X2 because it's extremely extreme.
Yeah. It's like it's super extreme. But so
It was a
like
lot of fun.
it was great. I mean, I love roller coasters, so I was really happy. The low of the day was the food experiences
Yeah.
because the little like 16-year-old guy that was at the front register or whatever, just bless him, was just over his head.
Might have been
and
his
like
first day.
I think it was all they had was like chicken nuggets and fries. So the menu items were not.
So
they
we didn't
were
have
not
to like
a lot.
think about
Right.
it. Like,
And like I think the way that it was, it's like you took the order and like they had to wait and give you the order, so they couldn't help the person next. So like there was no like runner or like
Right,
hey.
because he had to do the whole thing himself.
I'm like,
but, again,
but
it's
you
only
don't have
chicken
to.
nuggets and fries.
It's just
Right.
grab and
scoop
grab.
and scoop, and
Right.
then you're done.
Right. So the food sucked. I mean, I knew that going in. My highlight of food though was I got some Dippin' Dots. So
Okay.
I love a good, but they didn't have banana split.
Oh.
I had to get the cookie dough.
Oh.
I know.
I'm so sorry.
I know. It was just really, really sad. So I think it was a really fun day. I think Nick had fun. He can add on to it if he wants.
You
but
want to add on, Nick?
I would just say that like the thing I loved about it is the park's huge, and that flash pass thing was the best because you're like walking. Madison and Joe, this is the first time you guys have hung out like this, right?
Yeah.
And it was just sometimes a lot like between the two of them, I had to like.
There's a lot of energy.
A lot of
like
energy.
wrangling
Like,
kids. Like you have to put
oh
them on
my
leashes.
God.
Oh, but it was so good. Like
we
it was
have
so
together.
good.
We have talked about Madison before, but maybe for the listeners, can you give some context?
Oh yeah, Madison's one of my longest friends that I've known since high
He's like
school.
17 feet.
Longest friend.
That's like wait, sorry. Have you seen the meme? It was like it's like a picture of Lord. It's like let me be your ruler, and then the person goes, "That's not a good measurement of distance."
I've known him since high school, which is a long time. He's a flight attendant, and just
He just
like,
went to like Europe.
He was
Yeah.
in Paris, yeah.
He's
For
met,
only
like-
24 hours?
Yeah, he's met a bunch of people on his flights. He's got some great stories, and he's a fun like person to have around.
Yeah.
Some of those things, and not always. Like sometimes he can get a little too.
And he can be a little frenetic.
Yes, but he was actually.
What does that mean?
It means Joe.
Wait, did you say phonetic?
Frenetic.
I was like, what?
Like a lot of energy, a lot of
Oh, I'm sorry.
But
Yeah, I am a lot. Trust me, I know.
But it was fun to have him there, and he was on his best behavior for the most part, and it was fun to have him and Joe hang out.
Oh yeah, we were dancing to. There was a ride. What was it called? The Riddler. And they had like I want to say like early 2000s like trance music. It was like not good, but it was like really good. And I was like, this sounds kind of German. It's like we have the beat, but there was like no lyrics. But then it was just like this like, and I was like, I'm living for this. And he had his fan out, and like
Yeah.
we played
Oh,
Spot the
dear.
Gays because there were not a lot. Like
There were a lot, yeah, because they couldn't get into Disneyland, so they're like, well, let's just go to Magic Mountain.
well, we couldn't find them. Like I think we saw like 6.
Yeah, there wasn't.
But then we saw
like
like I think they were much younger.
Okay.
And so then like Madison had his fan out, and there were these like little kids that like yes, and I was like they gay or straight little girls.
There
you know.
you go.
I don't know how you all feel about roller coasters, but the only thing that really like I get claustrophobic a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they lock you in so tight, and then you have to sit there and then the moment that thing locks. The itch on the bottom of your leg that you can't reach just happened to happen at that same moment, right? Like that's usually every time you're like, God damn it! Now my foot itches and I can't reach it.
My problem is like I don't like going up on the
Oh.
roller coasters. Once I'm done going up,
Then you're fine.
then I'm fine. Like you just sit down.
Yeah,
it's
and
oh,
they
and
are
the
so
clapping.
so much.
and
I love it.
they are slow. Like they make it to the point where you're like, are we at the top yet? Oh, it's still going, and you're like, oh my fucking god! Like, can we just go already?
So he went on the new one that's at SeaWorld,
Which I'd love to do.
which is really a fun
Yeah.
roller coaster. But it you go all the way up, and then you actually start going down, and
And
it
then they
stops.
stop.
And then it lets
No.
go. Which really, I was watching from the ground.
I gotta
was
do that.
not on the
See-
ride, and it was great.
That's why Incredible Hulk at Islands of Adventure is like one of my favorites because it goes up a little bit, like for 3 seconds or something like that, and then it shoots off. And I'm like, thank you. I just want to get going.
Well, there's one at Magic Mountain called Full Throttle, and it goes from like 0 to 60 like in a snap.
Yeah.
and that one is so good. And there's a part where like when you're in the back where you're doing the loop because it's like I know physics and inertia, and like that's all I think about when I'm at amusement parks. It's like, okay, like the kinetic energy that we're doing here, and it's like stupid because it's like I just remember like physics in college and all this stuff. But like you get towards the end of the loop, and I'm like, we should be going faster. And I was sitting next to Madison, and I was like, why are we slowing down? Like, because we're like basically facing the ground at that point, and I'm like, we're gonna fall out. Like, this is how I go. This is how I go. And we didn't go, obviously. but-
There's one ride, the one that I thought was kind of more fun was it's Wonder Woman.
This was not fun whatsoever.
Because you're strapped in. The actual secure is more like
it's just a waist belt.
Yeah,
it's the lasso of truth.
But then,
That's how they trap you in.
No, that's it. Yeah.
Imagine you have, but then they give you the shoulder straps.
It's a fucking backpack strap.
Yeah, because you go up
Dora.
and over and down, and as soon as you're kind of like
Can you say
inverted,
safety?
the straps on these come off. Like
Yes.
you're not secure.
But I think that maybe they were not supposed to. Because like
it was fine.
No. Because like they're supposed to keep you in,
Right.
but like mine were coming off, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like
I
freaking
think
out.
probably because they may have been tighter before, but because there were so many issues. Because like you think about it, if the only thing keeping you in is straps.
Well,
like,
and the waist thing.
Right. If you're going down, your weight is going against those straps, and you're probably getting cut or like.
That's a good point.
This is the moment.
Yeah.
Like, when
But
you're coming
like
over.
the straps, like the up part, I was like, oh my god, I am going to fall out of this ride. So
It was fun.
wasn't
I loved it,
necessarily
though.
a big fan of that one because it wasn't. When like I'm the opposite. Like when they add the click, I'm like, go one more.
See, I
Click
like
it further.
I like the rides that like twirl
Yes.
like Gravitron and
Those
stuff.
just make me sick.
I love
Those are the best. When you're on like the little sliding
Yeah,
things.
and you
Oh my
go up
god.
and down, and you're like, boom,
Yes!
going up, going down, jazzercise.
Oh, they're the best. Yeah, because the people get dizzy, but the key is you don't look around.
I don't care. I'm
Okay.
like, looking at you. What's up,
Okay, Miss
girl?
Equilibrium.
Because I'm like, I get up on top and I'm like, oh, you still down there? I'll come back down to where you are. How you doing? Boop, back up here.
Oh my god. Yeah, so I think that was a fun trip. I would definitely recommend if you're in the Southern California area to go to Magic
Or
Mountain.
anywhere there's a Six Flags.
Oh yeah, they're all over.
Which we found out there's one in Mexico City.
Oh, okay.
Madison and I stayed a little longer till like right till the park closed, and then he got a annual pass, and the annual pass includes all the Six Flags because he travels. He's a
Wow.
flight
Yeah,
attendant.
or he
That's
can hop on a
awesome.
flight.
So
and
he's
go
like,
somewhere.
now I'm gonna go and jump on a roller coaster here or there in a city whenever I'm flying.
Yeah.
Like, that's really cool. So
They have, I
Yeah.
think, like 10 parks, 12 parks. I think.
Yeah,
lot
growing
more.
up in New Jersey, there was Great
Yep.
Adventure, which was the big, and it was maybe a half an hour drive.
Ooh,
to
that's
there,
not
so
bad.
it wasn't
That's not
bad,
far. Yeah.
but it was great for like
27.
high
Jesus.
school.
Ooh, there's some
I-
in Canada too.
I wouldn't. So here's my thing. Like, I wouldn't mind trying to go to all of them because I feel like that'd be cool. Like, oh, like I'm gonna go to all the whatever Six Flags in the country or whatever.
There's a great documentary about I think it's the Six Flags in New Orleans that got flooded by Katrina,
Oh,
and how it's just this vacant space now.
Yeah.
still. Well, I mean, yeah. How do you like?
No one wants to, reclaim it.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, how do you fix that's all electronic stuff? Interesting. So that was one thing, and then I met Linda.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, well, before that, I have a little bit of a gripe with Wayfair because my mom gave us a gift card to get some patio furniture, and I'm like, I can assemble that furniture easy, right? So the first shipment comes, and it's like higher chairs and a little bar table, and I was like, oh, this should be easy to assemble. It was not. And I'm going to tell you, it probably took 3 hours to assemble a little table and 2 chairs, and I was pissed.
Okay.
I was so annoyed. I was like, I'm going to write a bad review. I don't want to even sit on these goddamn furniture. And I've sat on them. But, so that was it. And then we got another set. So, but that was kind of the, last of the furniture that we needed to get. So that was just, one other thing that happened. And then I met Linda. And so Linda came to do her cleaning. And she is just so sweet.
She's the nicest.
Nick was like, oh, Linda, I didn't get you Diet Coke. And I was like, do you need Diet Coke, Linda? I'll get you Diet Coke. She's like, no. I was like, I'm getting you Diet Coke. Because I took Max out for a long walk to, leave her be, you know?
Yeah.
And I get her Diet Coke, and she's like, oh, my God, thank you so much. I'm like, girl, no, thank you. You deserve this.
I told you, the day Linda comes, when she's done, it's this actually feels really nice.
And she was like, we
She's
had,
a miracle
rust.
worker.
We had
Yeah.
rust on the fridge. And, we had tried scrubbing it with the magic erasers, and I get back and she's like, "Oh look, I cleaned this off," and I was like, "Oh my God,
We spent hours.
She has all these like home remedies for
Yeah.
stuff, and I'm just like, girl, okay.
Whatever I mean, I don't care. Like, you do it. Whatever it is, like, you do that.
It's even nice. Like, just wait till she brings you some
Tamales.
Tamales.
I need to figure out, like, I was like, okay, what are we going to get over Christmas?
She does.
When's
like
her
sweets.
birthday?
She does like sweets.
When's her birthday?
Oh, I don't know.
I'll get to know next time.
Okay.
I bet you Steve knows.
They're gonna be better friends.
clients
I
than
know.
we are.
I'm like, oh, she's not gonna want to come over here.
It's
anymore.
not a competition.
We don't get her Diet Coke.
I know. Well, you know, it's like, because it's funny because like Steve is at home all the time,
Yeah.
but his work isn't as regimented as like Andy's, because Andy's home all the time too. But like his work is so regimented because he has appointments and stuff.
Yeah,
So
calls.
he sits in the office and he's on calls, so he has to close the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I work out of the house, so it's like I'm at my office and stuff
Yeah.
like that, so I don't get here till like she's at the end of
Yeah.
the cleaning. So, but like Steve gets to know her because
Yeah.
he's just like, hey, what's up?
I know
And-
I want that.
Yeah, and like you get to because you're not working right
Right.
now, so it's like
I just want to know Linda's whole life story. And I was like, does Steve talk to her in Spanish?
I don't think so.
Because I was like, maybe I could practice my Spanish with Linda.
maybe I think she would like that. And I mean, her family's really nice. She like, sometimes her husband will help her out, sometimes her daughter will help her out. And she helped years ago. She asked me if I would help her daughter get a job, like help her with like figuring out how to fill out her application and like what to do during the interview process and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
She was just like, she's good people, you know? And I feel like I'm really glad, because I was like a little on the fence in the beginning. I was like, okay, that's an expense, but it was like, it's half, like it's split half, but it is worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm like, you could say it's an expense, but you will definitely
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? Not even just like, not just because it's a great cleaning job, but like, she is just the most like kind and sweetest human being. Like, I was like, oh, I wanted to like pack her up in a box and like take her home.
She was at your house. She was already there.
And then we had Andy's Pizza.
Oh, I
From the
had
new-
some of that too.
How did you have it?
I made an extra. I had 4 doughs, so I made one when he came home last night. I made one.
The dough was amazing.
It
was
yeah.
so good.
Well, and so the best part, like, there's always a lot of good parts when we hang out, but I was like really impressed with the pizza because you made it in the oven thing, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. But you had a stone or a steel plate, and like the crispiness on the bottom, and it was good. It was so good. And then we watched what was the rugby show?
In from the side.
Oh yeah. It was a movie.
It just started as not pizza night. It started as gay movie night.
Yeah.
It was actually gay movie night, and then pizza was added afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh really?
They were just going to do a charcuterie board and be done with it.
I thought it started as pizza night and then became a movie night.
No.
Whatever it
I'm
takes
getting
to
the
get
real-
whatever it takes to get you in the door.
Right.
Joe.
Not much. But the movie, I think, the movie was interesting because, like, me and Steve both thought there was, like, a main character, like, couple, if you want to call it that. And one of the guys was, like, really cute. And I think he looked like Kit Harington. And the other guy was cute, but, like, he had, like, just his beard was, like, a little too long and pointy, like a witch's chin.
He's a rugby guy.
He knows how to trim his beard. So that was like the only gripe I had about the movie.
It was choices. It was
Were
just not
yeah.
a good
And
choice.
Andy made a good comment too, because they're like love interests, but like he had said that the acting, it was like the one guy was good, but the other guy was like not convincing, and I was like, you're right about
There
that.
was no chemistry.
Yes, that's the word.
They were both good-looking guys, and they both played their part, but
Yeah.
you didn't feel that.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh my god, they love each other. Which, if you look at what's the TV show,
Heartstopper?
Heartstopper.
Yes.
They have incredible chemistry.
Yeah.
They may hate each other. Even the film we watched the first night of the film festival with the Glitter and Doom, they had incredible chemistry.
They did.
And they appeared not to like each other at all.
Yeah,
honestly.
in real life, it was
that's
really
good
crazy.
acting. Damn.
Yep.
That's like us. No, I'm
But
just
chemistry's
kidding.
hard.
We have chemistry and we like each other.
Exactly.
That's what I tell myself. So that was my week. Now you got more updates.
Okay.
Girl, unpack it.
So my week and Andy's week consisted of we were in Nashville for this time for a different sister because my younger sister fell a couple weeks ago, and so she went to the doctor, and they had to do surgery on her. So she had a laminectomy, which means there's like compression of nerves within your spine, and so they had to uncompress that somehow, and then she had a fusion. So if any of our listeners out there have had this surgery and stuff, or know someone who has the surgery and they have tips and tricks and stuff for my sister, please email us at tugayspod, that's tugayspod at yahoo.com, or DM us on Instagram at tugayspod, which is tugayspod. Had to spell it because I didn't want you to think there was like a number 2 on there.
Or TWO.
Yeah, exactly. So the laminectomy and the fusion.
That would be tugayspod.
No, it's not. No.
Don't listen.
No.
Twoggies.
English is such a fucking weird language.
It really is.
We did troth last week.
Oh my god. You mean tro? Trow.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
So, this is a very invasive surgery. She had to be in the hospital for a couple of days. Surgery was, they said they had planned for 4 hours, but it was only 2. So we were like, oh, that's great. The day before, when we were flying in, I actually sat next to a woman who had the procedure done 3 times.
Of course you did.
Yeah,
three
it's
times?
so weird.
Of course. 3?
3 times in her life.
Did the
It
third
was
the third time the charm?
Well, like, she's like, the 3rd time was a little bit harder. And I was like, oh,
Was it
God.
different places at each
I think
of
it
the
was like
surgeries?
different places in her spine, but 2 of them were the same space.
What
in her
a
spine.
what are the odds?
But like, Ozzy Osbourne's had this procedure 4 times and is about to have it again.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, okay, that's not great news.
Right.
When you think about it. But it was weird because I was like, the flight was oversold. She had bought 2 planes. She had bought 2 seats, one right next to each other, because her friend was supposed to go with her. And then she was like, she didn't, but she kept the seat because she needed a little bit more room.
Okay.
And then I was like talking to her, and she was super nice because I was like, she was like, no, I bought this seat. I'm like, this is the seat they gave me. I'm so sorry. Like,
oh, were you at the seat that they were?
yeah, she was trying to keep. Yeah. So I was like, I am so sorry. I will make myself as small as possible so that you because she told me she had just had surgery. So I was like, I completely understand. I'm heading to Nashville for my sister's surgery. She's like,
wait, did she just have the surgery that your sister?
No,
Oh, okay.
she had gone to Mexico
Oh!
from San Diego to get
Good for her.
a little tummy action.
Did she get her vaginal rejuvenation?
I was like, they're down there, so they might as well.
Right.
but she
Vajazzle.
was super sweet. And I was like, oh, she's having a laminectomy. She's like, oh, I've had 3 of those. Just tell her she needs to walk. And I was like, oh, okay. Thank you so much.
What are the odds?
It's so
What are
weird,
the
right?
odds?
But what a nice gift,
Right.
because you were stressed out.
I was stressed out.
Yeah.
To just to deal with anyone that knew something about
Yeah.
What airline did you guys fly?
We flew on out
United
there,
there.
United there, and American back.
Okay. Because I was like, you've been doing Southwest lately, and I don't think they do signed seats, so I was like,
No.
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So we get there, get the rent a car, which is an electric car.
oh,
A fully electric. We get an Ionic 5.
but how did you charge it?
It was fully charged when we got it. So here's the thing. The guy's like, there's 13 charging stations in Tennessee.
13 in the whole
No, I'm in
in
Nashville.
Nashville.
And I thought to myself, I'm like, 13 charging... We got to find out where these charging stations are.
Yeah.
I thought he meant 13 charging stations whole. Like, not 13 locations where they have charging stations.
That's how I thought it was.
Okay.
13.
I thought that was 13
So-
total for the
Yeah,
entire
yeah,
net.
we're gonna
Tennessee is like
We're going to get back to this car thing here
Oh,
in a
no.
second.
And of course, when he said that, we're going, there's 13 in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Exactly.
California's a lot more electric friendly, I guess.
So it was interesting. I'm like, okay, driving it's a little weird, but I was like,
I
Okay.
kind of came to like it.
I did too.
So I want an electric car. So what did you get? What was it? An
an Ionic 5.
What's Ionic?
This one.
It's the Hyundai, like the crossover, kind of like the Nero, just a little bit bigger.
Oh, that's nice.
It's super cute and nice.
It was
What's the butt?
It had luxury.
It had luxury and it had pickup and it drove nicely. The ride was smooth. I will say this about I don't know how I'd feel about doing long trips in it.
How can you?
Right, exactly, because you have to stop
Well-
everywhere. But also with this one that we had, it had a specific charging plug.
Oh.
So the cool thing is when you go online and look for a charging station, like on your phone, on the maps, on your Apple, you can actually, if you just scroll up on the actual, if you pick one and then just scroll up, it tells you what adapters they have, and it tells
on
you
Apple Maps.
Yeah, and it tells you how the speed at which it charges.
Like how much voltage?
I wanna look this
So here's the thing.
Y'all do you? We're getting very scientific.
Okay, a couple of days after we're there, we're like, oh, we need to charge this. So, not knowing that the hotel we were staying at had charging stations, but we stopped at a Publix.
Wait, hold on. So the place that you were saying had charging stations, but you didn't know about it?
Not yet.
Not yet. So, we go to a Publix because I'm like, oh, this Publix has charging station. After we were trying to find a charging place because we're looking online, Maps also doesn't tell you when a charging station is located in a place where you can't get into.
Like a private parking lot.
Like an apartment building or a hotel's parking lot.
No. So were you guys like basically chasing around the city trying
Right,
to find
as
places?
you're using up your power.
We weren't desperate at that point, but we were like, okay, we need to do this. So he finally finds one in a Publix,
really
right?
interesting.
Right.
And he plugs in and we think, okay, we'll go eat lunch.
And it should be done.
And it should be done, right?
Oh,
this
no.
is fast. No,
Great. We're at like 38%. We still have a little bit of time to get charging. And we plug it in, and it's like, charging started. And it tells you exactly how long it's going to take.
Oh, wait, let's play the guess how long it's going to take to
Okay.
charge. 7 hours.
No. Nick?
24 hours.
Higher or
No.
lower?
Higher, lower.
Okay.
14 hours?
No, it was 9 hours. 9.5 hours.
to
get
charge to 100%?
Yes, because it was only a 6.7 volt. Like,
Oh, not like the fast charge ones?
No.
So the fast charge ones, I think...
Isn't it like 20 minutes?
The Tesla ones are fast charge.
Yeah.
But you can't... Like, even at the hotel, they had 2 stations that were Tesla and 2 that were Universal.
Yeah.
And the Universal ones were both freaking slow, and the Tesla ones were...
The good thing is that at the
Well, if
hotel,
you do it
like, we can
overnight.
we're done.
Right, so if you do it overnight, excuse me.
But here's the thing.
Oh my gosh.
On the day
I'm glad you're telling me all about this because I want an electric car.
Because on the day I was leaving, the Friday, the day before I was leaving, I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I need to, like, I went to do stuff with my mom, drop her off at the house, go back to the hospital, stay with my sister for a little bit. Then I'm like, all right, I'm going to get back to the hotel. Hopefully, because it's a Friday and the hotel gets super busy there because it's one of the most popular hotels there, it's not, there's still going to be a charging station available. Because there had been every single day we were there.
Right, okay.
Of course, when I get there,
They were all full.
There wasn't.
Oh, no.
And of course, there was a Tesla parked in one of the Universal ones, not charging.
Oh, God.
And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. I was like, I'm going to go eat dinner, and then I'll come back down after dinner and see if anybody left, because it's a Friday night. So I'm like thinking, oh, they're going to go out and like enjoy Nashville. No. So
the Tesla was parked and it wasn't charging?
correct. So then in the morning, I had to like go to that public. Like, I drove around and tried to find like 4 different spots that I could do. I found one where it was like, oh, the charging and it's fast.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the plug that I needed
Oh my
to fit into
God.
it, even though it told me it did. And then, so I finally just went back to the Publix I went to, and I sat there for like 2 hours and tried to get as much charge as I could, because when you return it to the
Does it have to be at the same charge?
No, it has to be 70% or more.
Oh my god.
So
And they'll charge you for charging it.
correct.
So it's like the new, like, you have to fill it up to the gas.
correct.
Well, and they gave you the option, like you could prepay and they'd fill it up
Right,
for you. But
yeah.
we were thinking, okay, well, there's charging stations. It's not a big deal.
There's 13 stations in Tennessee.
But, you know, circumstances did not weigh in.
But I will say, like, it was great to drive. It was a great car. You know, if you're looking for it, it does offer the luxury. It is a little bit of a bigger vehicle, so I did like that.
Yeah.
Plus, it would go on a charge. It would go over 400 miles on a
Yeah.
charge.
Oh, wow.
So it was great.
Yes, and I loved all the the little things it would do for you. It even gave you how it rated your attention level.
Oh, no.
So-
mine would be 0. Mine would be like, please pay attention.
Yeah,
I'd be like, what?
The good thing is like since Hyundai also makes Kia, it was kind of the same format.
Do
setup.
they?
Yeah.
Oh.
The only thing is the gear shift was you either had to twist it down for reverse, twist it up for drive, or push the
Oh,
button
I don't
for
like
park.
those, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little
I
weird.
like the little, like, the circle things. I don't
Yeah.
like those, yeah.
So
Looks nice,
it was a fine time. Andy stayed for 5 days. I stayed for 10 to help my sister out and stuff like that. She was in the hospital for a couple of days, and they moved her to rehabilitation. She's doing really good. She's able to.
Well, she was in the hospital for 5 days.
Yeah, she was in the hospital for 5 days, and then they moved her to rehabilitation, and she started that, and
she'll be there for like 10.
Yeah, she's gonna be there for like a little bit more than just over 10 days.
Okay.
And then she's starting to walk a little bit more.
Okay.
She's
Already?
She's having
They did amazing getting her out of, like even the first day, they're having her sit up, and little by little, I mean, you could see daily improvement.
Right.
Which
Wow.
was great.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then I had to stay one night in the hospital with my sister because she was like, "Will you just stay with me?"
Oh my God.
She wants somebody to stay with her every night, and I'm just like, "That's not happening. I'm not doing that every night. I did it once, and that's it."
You're like, this is your one and done. Goodbye.
Yes. So it was great, and then Andy and I, when we go there, we try to like see if we can get in some stuff for ourselves.
Like a meal.
Right. So we ended up having, when we were charging our car, we went and had brunch
One
at
of
a
the many
restaurant.
times.
Yeah. And so we're talking to the waitress, and we're also looking for some place to go for dinner. And we're looking at, I found a couple of places, and when I was talking to the waitress, we're like, "Oh, so where should we go? What's fun to do?" And she went and got another one of her coworkers, and she's like, "Well, you should go to this one place. It's called Xiao Bao." And
Is it like bell buns?
yeah, it's like dim sum, and like that was one of the places we were thinking about
Oh,
going.
nice, okay.
That I had found right there while we were waiting, and so we're like, "Well, that's
Convenient.
definitely convenient for us. We're going to go there."
So, pro tip, people: whenever you're in a new city, ask restaurant people where to go eat because they
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
And if they're the person that's serving you doesn't know, there's someone else in that restaurant who's
Right,
been everywhere.
who's going to know? And then the cool thing was we get to Xiao Bao. It's a little early, so they seat us and stuff like that. The guy next to us gets sat, and he is a food blogger who works for like CNN and Time Magazine and
London.
BBC from London.
Ooh.
Right. So we sit down, and they barely give us menus. This guy sits down, and like 4 people are
They're falling
fawning
over him.
over him.
Oh, did you? So you had no idea who this person was?
We didn't have any idea who it was. We ordered our food. They're telling him, "Oh, if you want to order some stuff, great. The kitchen's also going to send
Is this
some
the
stuff
staff
out."
that was hovering over him?
Yeah.
Oh.
So then we're like,
Who is that?
well, yeah, and then we're like,
he was closer than I am to.
right, we're right next to each other, like even closer than we
Wow.
are sitting here.
He was on your lap. You can tell us.
Yeah. So we kind of knew he knew the chef because they were like, "Oh, did you want to talk to the chef later?" Blah blah blah. So we kind of knew that. We just didn't know how.
Okay.
So we're waiting for our food. He had gotten like 3 dishes before we had gotten our first.
Uh-oh.
And Andy's like, "Oh, I guess it pays to know the chef." And he's like,
I just said, you're getting the VIP treatment.
yeah.
Because they were like, the chef's going
To
to
him, you said that to him?
Yeah.
And he was the nicest guy.
He was super nice. He was like, "You guys haven't gotten food yet?" And I'm like, "No, it's okay." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm a food blogger." And we started talking about different places in Nashville that he's been.
How cool is that?
And just like had a conversation with him the entire time. So it was a lot of fun.
That's
actually,
cool.
Yeah.
What's his name?
His name is Chris Dwyer. And I started following him on
Is he cute?
Instagram. He's older.
Oh. Well, let's see
nice
what he
guy
looks
though.
He lives with his wife. He used to be like in production for news and media, and he kind of got tired of the corporate stuff and started just being a food blogger. And now he travels all over the world.
Yeah.
He lived in Hong Kong for a while.
Yeah, so it was like really cool to like talk to him
So
about
he
that
knew
kind of
Chinese food like amazingly.
stuff. Yeah. So
Oh, he's cute.
that's not him.
Oh.
I think that's his parents or something.
Oh.
Or somebody he visited because he travels a lot.
If you're looking on his Instagram, we'll show you where.
That's him.
Left or right?
Right, the bald headed guy.
Okay.
Well, if you go back, we'll show you. We were sitting right next
Nice
to
guy.
We were sitting right next to this. No.
He had a great writing style.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun.
That looks good.
Yeah, his
God.
barbecue picture.
Oh.
He was just in Houston and had amazing barbecue. The most recent post.
This
Most
one?
recent.
To the left.
There you go.
Got it.
I mean, look at that. That's some.
Is that where you guys were?
No, that's a.
He was in Houston doing barbecue, and then he came up to Nashville.
Got it.
And then he went to Canada after that. So like he made a swing while he was here.
That's a lot of traveling, Jesus.
So, great guy and everything. So, we had a good time. At the hotel, there was like a little, I saw three or four different meetings come through. Because when we got there, there was like a
work from home.
Corporate
optimization.
Yeah, corporate optimization, yeah.
What does that even mean?
I know, that's just buzzwords.
It was like risk management, like all kinds of... It was basically software that would manage your environment, but from a risk management perspective.
Yeah. So, and then after that, it was like more of a Christian-based meeting. Okay.
Is this when you saw the Ron DeSantis shirt?
Yes, I did see a Ron DeSantis shirt when I was out for dinner one night, and those people were getting drunk, and they were mean. Like, the way they were talking about people, I was like, okay. But the funniest thing is, Andy and I were coming back one day, and we're like, after going to the hospital and stuff like that, we're walking up, and there is a woman and a man, a couple, standing, waiting for their car from valet. The woman standing in front of the man, but they're standing very close. And I look, and I'm like, she's groping him. And Andy's like, no. And I'm like, yes.
But I mean,
It wasn't
we're
Lauren
as
Bogart.
close as we are to you right now.
Yeah.
Like, are you talking
She
like...
just literally grabbed
She grabbed his junk and like was like
So not like a little
aggressive,
like a butt tap, but
like she was in a
legit-
rap video. Like she was grabbing that crotch like hard.
Was it like she was trying to like the stick shift, this
Yes.
dick shift?
And
She's
I felt like I was in Beetlejuice.
And you're sure it wasn't Lauren Bogart?
I was just gonna say.
in Beetlejuice, right?
Well, that's what Andy said. Is like obviously Lauren made it okay to do that. I was just like, ew. There are kids around.
Yeah, but where are the groomers?
Exactly. So, and Andy left, a couple days in, like 5 days in, and then I was there. So the last night I was there, I went and dropped my nephew off at the hospital with my sister. Then I went back to the hotel, and then my mom called, and she fell at home.
Oh yeah.
So I had to drive back out to my sister's, which is like 20 or 30 minutes from the hotel that we're staying at. But I was like, they were giving me a better discount than the ones that were close to my mom's house.
Well, and then
So
you
I
have
was
to worry about the charge.
Well, and that was the other thing. It was like, we were like, oh, so this was before we got the electric cars, the rent-a-car. So we're like, well, we're going to save some money, but it's probably going to end up paying it in gas, but that's okay. Then we didn't have to pay for gas.
Right.
Because all the charging stations, like at the hotel and at Publix, were free.
Okay.
And the ones that were
nice.
paid didn't have the right one anyway. So I was like, okay.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, so I had to go there, and I took my mom to the emergency room because she fell.
Right.
But we don't know if she hit her head or not. So I was at the hospital with my mom for like 6 hours. And I didn't get back to the hotel till like 2:30.
Oh my God.
And then the car wasn't charged. So then I had to get up super early, like 6:15, 6 o'clock in the morning, get dressed, pack my bags, and then go find someplace to charge the car.
And then
for
what
a
time
little
did you fly back?
And then my flight was at 1:22.
Okay.
And then I had a layover in Dallas and then back here at like 6:30. But like, I don't eat or drink really when I fly right before I do. Like when I finally got home, I stayed up for like maybe 2 hours after I got home, and then I was like dead. I was like, I gotta go because
Goodbye. Good night.
Yeah, it was hard because I couldn't sleep for that long because while I'm trying to sleep, I'm worried about missing my alarm. Mm-hmm. So
Well, and you got what? So you basically got back here on 4 hours of sleep, plus you were already 3 hours ahead.
yes,
Oh my God.
2 hours ahead because the part of Tennessee they're in is only 2 hours ahead of us instead of 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
Tennessee is one of those states where they split.
Oh
Half of
God.
it's central, half of it's eastern.
Oh, that's tough. Okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, oh, I'm on the street. Okay, like you're crossing the street. Oh gosh, it's 4 o'clock. No, it's 3 o'clock.
If I had traveled 2.5 hours to Knoxville to go visit the blue shirt guy, it would have been 3 hours ahead.
Oh my God.
Did you think about doing that? Were you like, can I work this into this trip?
I thought about it because we also have other friends that live
Yeah.
out there. We're like, hey, do you guys want to like drive out here and meet us at the hotel, and then we can like hang out at the pool and do that? But they couldn't make it because they live up in the mountains and stuff. And then I was thinking maybe we should drive to Knoxville, but there really wasn't like we were at the hospital like every day.
Yeah.
So it was like hard.
That's hard, yeah.
It's like hard. Plus, my mom and my nephew both don't drive, so my sister's the only one that drove. So because my sister had the
surgery.
Guess who had to end up driving everyone everywhere?
How are they going to get around though without you there?
That's a great question. More on that in an upcoming episode.
A unicycle. The answer is a unicycle.
All right. So now it's time for... Oh, can I just say, I love all these memes, before we get into, like, mouth to mouth, I love all these memes of, like, where September went, because, like, September did an Irish goodbye, where it was here 1 minute, and then it was gone the next.
I haven't seen them.
It went so fast.
It did, though, yeah.
Yeah. I was like... And did you see this thing about Taylor Swift at the Kansas City Chiefs...
I've loved all of
Yeah,
that.
everyone.
Yeah, with Travis Kelce and stuff. But my favorite is like she had chicken fingers and she was eating them with ketchup and seemingly ranch.
I don't know what that is.
It's like they were like it looks
assuming
like
it's-
ranch, but there's a chance it may have been mayonnaise.
Oh,
but
is that? I thought it was brand.
No.
Or like a
no,
type of
seemingly
ranch.
ranch.
So like it seems like it's ranch.
Yes.
Allegedly.
So anyway, it's time for mouth to mouth resuscitation. All right, Joe, what are you obsessed with?
Well, only two things. So,
Okay.
the first one is the Britney knives,
Oh yeah,
because Nick is obsessed with it.
All the
and
memes
I'm like
and everything?
All the
tertiarily.
memes. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so I'm like, but also I'm like, what is she doing?
I love all of them
You know
so
what?
much.
I
Love it,
let
love
her
it,
live
love
her
it.
life.
Exactly.
I question whether the conspiratorship or whatever she's
No.
out of
No.
is a good
She-
thing.
No.
100% she is just fine.
Yeah.
She's living her
So
life.
my favorite is, well, I also love the
And
memes
they were
where it's
fake
like,
knives, everyone. You don't have to
Yeah.
worry about her doing it with real knives.
no, they're real.
No.
They're real knives.
In my
Those
heart,
are a
they're
chef's
real.
knife. The one where it's like when your food's in the microwave and it's just her spinning around.
Everybody's like, when you go to Kobe, and she's the chef making your teppanyaki.
I can't. No. Like the internet is great, but also like
I loved it.
damn.
Did you see the air traffic controller one?
No.
Yeah. Or did you
Oh.
see somebody like dressed up like Michael Myers with the mask and everything?
Oh.
And he was doing the dance.
I didn't
exactly.
I follow him. His name is Michael Slayers, and it's like Michael Myers in stilettos. That that also I'm obsessed with that because it's Michael Myers in stilettos doing like various dance moves, and it is so good. But the second thing I'm obsessed with is an Instant Pot. So I got an Instant Pot, like, I don't know, within the last week and a half or so, because I was like, oh, let me, like, just try it out. And we made beef stew, and it made it really well. So I'm in my soup era.
Okay. I love it.
What's giving you life?
Okay, so the Great British Baking Show is back out on Netflix, the new season.
Oh,
so very excited.
The beaver.
I know, because the innuendo, like they showed you that one, but the one before that, like when she was like when they're interviewing her and they were like, she's like, Prue was like, I don't think I've ever seen. I don't think I know what a beaver looks like. And they all start cracking up. And I was like, sure, Prue. You did
They
that
must
one
have.
time
They
in
had
college.
to have known. They had.
Well,
to
that's
have
what they're known
known.
for. Like they've like ever since I think like maybe season 3 or season 4, they really lean into like the sexual innuendos.
I love it.
And I love it.
Very British.
And
Very
so,
British.
in this season, there seems to be a lot of like really great home bakers on there. Like Dan is just a cutie. He's got a great smile. There is a deaf person on there,
Right.
and that's great to see because she's actually teaching them, and they have an ASL. I don't know if it's
But,
ESL.
but they do not make a big deal of it.
No.
It's
Good.
incredible. Like she is just like any other contestant.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then they were like, because when they introduced the interpreter, because they never had one on there before, they're like for one of the contestants who is deaf.
How fun.
They didn't even point her out. They didn't say anything. You just kind of knew once you saw her with her. She has the what's the thing called when there's a touch?
Induction, the bone induction.
Yeah.
Hearing aid.
So yeah, and so everybody's super nice. Everybody looks cool and stuff. So I'm very excited about this season. The other thing I'm obsessed with right now is also on Netflix. It's called Model. And Andy started watching this, and I started watching it.
you told us about this. Yeah.
And so it's based in South Africa, and it's kind of like America's Next Top Model, just not as problematic. Because like you've got yet. But I will
Is
say
it
like
based? Is it now like current?
yeah, it's very
Okay.
current. Yeah, and it's like I said, all of them are South African, so they go in between English and Afrikaan, which I think is very interesting listening to them speak in that language, because I'm like, oh, it's actually a very beautiful language.
South Africa, right?
Huh?
South Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's filmed in Cape Town.
Oh.
Yeah, and so you didn't realize how much stuff was in Cape Town. Like
Cape
they
Town's
do a lot of
similar to San Diego.
Yeah, it's a large video, movie, TV kind of location too, because
interesting.
Like, Panavision has a location there, and I was like, Panavision's still around? Do they do that? So I was very surprised about that.
It's just also always goes to show too that like sometimes different studios release things at the same time that are, because I thought you were talking about this show, the Supermodels on Apple TV.
And there's another one, there's another show I think somewhere else where it's called Model or something, and that's not it.
Yeah.
So I will say, okay, so I'm obsessed with like, watching things that are inappropriate sometimes, but I also have to figure out when it's the right time to watch those things. So I downloaded some stuff to watch on the plane.
Oh no.
Not realizing, okay, I like Harley Quinn on HBO Max. Kind of realized that's probably not appropriate for me to watch on the plane because it's like cartoon women trying to get it on while also like beating people to death, blood throwing everywhere.
Nothing wrong with it.
Whale dogs
Watch
and
it.
everything.
Watch it.
And then I'm watching this other show on HBO Max, and it's a new one, and I was like, I think it's called Starstruck, and I was like, oh, this looks interesting. I'll download a couple of episodes. First episode, 10 minutes in, it's her, the main character, riding some guy in a bra with her boobs bouncing. And I'm like, in the middle of the plane, and I get an aisle seat, okay? So it's not like Andy who gets a window seat so he can turn his...
No shame, Paul. No shame. Turn up the brightness all the way. Anyone else want a view?
You know...
Paul does whenever there's an inappropriate scene. I turn my
I get aisle seats too, and I watched the movie with Jennifer Lawrence, and she's naked in the movie, and it's like a scene of her like running around like the beach, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, it's too late now.
You know, the easiest fix is to get a privacy screen.
No.
Yeah, right?
But then I'm kind of like, look at what I'm watching other people.
But also, I have the closed captioning on. So, because even though I'm going to hear it, they're British, so I'm like, I need to have the closed captioning on just so I know.
Two girls fucking.
But like, it also says, she's like, while she's writing him, she's like, did you want to have sex? He's like, we're having sex right now. And she's like, but do you want to?
Indistinct moans.
And I'm like, the fuck am I watching? Oh. Okay, so let's get into the subject for this week. Because I had a hard time sleeping.
I was going to ask, how was your sleeping?
It was difficult.
I feel like this is an ad. Like, are you having trouble sleeping? Thanks for asking. With Casper Mattress.
Please sponsor us.
Thank you.
Yeah, right.
I've never sat on a Casper, so I don't know anything
I don't know
about
either.
them.
Or purple or any of those.
Right.
Like,
or Luna or whatever.
Yeah, all those roll-up ones that you order online. Like, I've never tried any of those.
Yeah.
But, like, I didn't bring any CBD or melatonin with me, and I totally forgot. And I was
How did you fall asleep?
I just
didn't.
Just did.
You raw dogged it?
Yeah,
like,
I raw dogged
naturally?
it. Yeah. Well, I still had cough syrup too from like when I had the cough.
Oh god.
And so
yes.
like that helped me sleep a little bit.
I know this is gonna sound real bad, but like there's cough syrup, Delcium or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's like normally that has the like I fucking don't know what's called dihydromenamine or whatever.
Right.
Like, and it's basically Benadryl. That shit does not work for me, but whatever the fuck is in Delcium PM knocks you out.
Oh, okay.
And it is magic. So if y'all ever need anything...
We're not promoting that.
No.
Over the counter.
No. And don't double the dose.
All right. So let me ask you.
Ask me.
What is your sleeping position?
All. So I'm a morpher. I'm also a thrasher, and I'm also like kind of sometimes wake up and like
terrors.
Yeah, we'll get into it. But
Okay.
So I start off on my back, and then
I bet you do.
on my back, legs up, right,
Kel Surprise.
right, and in the stirrups. So that's how I start off sleeping. But then I usually will migrate to like stomach sleeping. So like
Okay.
my comfort is stomach sleeping.
So you start off at a soldier, but then you go into a free fall.
Oh,
Yeah.
What?
So those are the names.
That
of the
sounds like a
positions.
porno.
I know it does.
I start off on a soldier and then I end at a free fall. Would that is yeah okay.
So
Why is it called that?
Oh well, it's because I guess because the way if you sleep on your back, you're with your arms next to you.
Yeah,
it looks like you're standing in attention. So and then,
but I don't. It's not hands like this. It's like one hand is under the pillow, other hand is like wherever, and then legs aren't straight out. One is at like a leg out like this, like a number 4. Like it's a lot of like there's a lot of like extra
it's a
spreading.
contortionist,
It's kind
Right.
of a Spider-Man thing.
Right.
That's why we gotta get a king size bed.
Oh,
Do you have one now?
yes.
it's you have to like king or California king is the way to go.
I was gonna say saves marriage, but like saves relationships. Like the best sleep I'm getting because there's so much space, and Nick is like all the way over in like the West Africa region of our bed.
Well, so are you the kind of person who can sleep when you're touching another person?
I can start falling asleep, but like I'm a very light sleeper, so like I struggle sleeping. Like I'm not a good sleeper, which is why I'm like really strict about sleep hygiene. But like if there's like a loud noise, like I sleep with earplugs every single night, regardless of the situation. Like it can be dead quiet, but I just need it to be like I need to be like no sound whatsoever, and it needs to be pitch black. But if I'm starting off sleeping, it could be like a little like toe on a leg. But like if I'm sleeping, like leave me the fuck alone. Let sleeping dogs lie. That's like my like mantra.
I'm the same way because I'm like when I see these movies and TV shows where like people are like cuddling before they fall asleep and then they wake up and they're still cuddling.
No,
and I'm
no
like,
way.
this show was not made for me.
It's also very.
represented.
It's not reality.
No. I want the episode of the movie where people are like, okay, good night, and then they like get to their sides of the bed,
Yes.
and it's like that's
Yes.
Those people don't sweat. And there's
I know.
there's perfect air in that room.
yeah, and I'm like, and they're like, they're fine, and I'm just like, ew, like get.
I know those
off
people
me.
exist, and I've always been jealous because it's kind of nice to think like you could cuddle with somebody.
I know.
But
And-
It's a romantic thing, but like no.
No,
thank you.
I'm a furnace when I sleep, so I'm like, okay,
Right.
yeah, no, I can't do that.
Well, and I move a lot. I move around a lot. I thrash around a lot. I also sometimes wake up and like fight the air, and like pop out of bed and run out. Like so, right, yeah. Like I don't know what it would even be called. Nick is like obviously looking in the corner like, oh my god. But when I was single, I would tell gentlemen callers. I would preface like, hey, just to let you know, like if you spend the night, I may like wake up and thrash out of the bed and like run out. Like,
So I think it's like a
randomly.
little bit like night terrors.
It's like a combination of like
Almost
sleepwalking, night terrors, because it's like they are sometimes tied to like a nightmare,
Tell me about your trauma.
right?
What happened?
Well, and I wanted to do a sleep study, but I asked my doctor, and he's like, "Well, if it's not consistent, like we can't like do anything."
Right, and that's a weird thing because like I saw these like sleep studies, but it's like they're not technically scientific studies because some of them are only like 1,000 people, and that's not a good representation of the population. Another thing is like a lot of them are like, tell me how you sleep.
Right.
Like, what position do you sleep in? Like, tell me like about
Right.
your personality, who you are. So it's like, you know, there's all these things what your sleep position says about you, but it's like, does it? Because like anything can affect
Yeah.
your sleep, like your environment, how you're feeling, what's going on in your life, the
100%.
stress you have,
Yep.
what you ate,
Yes.
what you drank,
That
like
comes to mind.
all that kind of stuff comes to mind. So it's like it's not scientific and 100%, but it also is like okay, because I'm a yearner when I sleep. So I sleep with my my arm straight out,
Okay,
on
Hitler.
my side, but then I also have to sleep with the blanket. I have to be clutching the blanket with my fist and then have it underneath my chin on my neck.
Wait, are you a stomach sleeper?
I
Side
kind of
sleeper.
side stomach. Like
Because
a
I'm.
mixture.
Wait, do you grasp with your left hand or your right hand?
I grasp with whatever hand is not underneath the pillow because it changes based on which direction I'm facing.
Because I'm a comforter grasper too.
Yeah. I have to hold it on my neck. For
That's
some reason.
yes,
It makes me feel
and you
safe.
coil it, right?
Yes.
Do you like curl it inward?
Yes.
I do the same thing.
So like that's my thing, you know, and I always like my one leg has to be up in like the 4 position kind of
Yes.
thing. But like also with Cooper, my legs were always spread wide because he would sleep between me. Yeah, they were. Easy entry, baby. Oh. For Cooper to sleep in between my legs.
Right.
But now I realize I don't have to keep doing that anymore. So I changed my sleep pattern a little bit so that my legs aren't spread as wide.
Well, it makes sense.
But then I always sleep on the edge of the bed.
I do the same thing.
I take 3 inches hole on the bed, and everything else is So Nick, what kind of sleeper are you?
I sleep on my side, but I have to have a pillow that I hold to keep my legs not touching.
Okay, so
I put a pillow between my legs, and I also kind of hold on to it.
Oh, so
one of those long.
It's a longer pillow.
So it's like a mixture of yearner, but also fetal position.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, and I already know what Andy is, but Andy, tell the listeners.
I'm free fall.
He's a free fall. Let me tell you.
What's free fall?
On the stomach, full on.
Oh, is your face in the pillow?
No.
Yeah, it is.
Before. When I fall asleep, there can be nothing obstructing my breathing. So I have to turn my head sideways.
Yeah.
There can be no covers anywhere near my face. It's that part is just the weird.
So you sleep on your stomach. Do you have a hand under the pillow and your head is to the side?
Usually.
Okay, yeah, that's how I generally.
Both arms up.
Oh.
I'm kind of like the X-ray in the airport. That's basically how I sleep.
I love that.
Oh my god. So are both hands under the pillow or are they above the pillow?
Usually both above me.
Oh.
Like that.
On top of the pillow?
No, under the
pillow and face on top. Interesting.
Mine changes based off of what I eat, though, because I feel like on one side I don't have heartburn, but if I switch to the other side,
do you want to know why?
I have heartburn.
Do you want to know why?
Something about my heart.
It's because your stomach, the way that your stomach is is and anatomically oriented is it's like a little a C, and so if you're on one side, it drips back, and if you're on the other side, it closes.
That's
it
what
off.
happens.
I don't think any of us tonight are going to get the greatest of sleep.
I know, it's going to be terrible sleep.
Well, no, so I think what I was thinking most about this sleep topic is I think people don't know how important sleep is, but they do, if that makes sense, and they don't care about getting good sleep. The older I've gotten, the more I'm yes, I'm non-conscious. Yeah, I know it's 8 hours of my day and I don't know what's happening, but I want that to be good quality restful sleep because I am useless. If I don't get 6 hours, if it's less than 6, I'm done. I can't function whatsoever. Are you guys capable of living whatever?
I did with 3 hours of sleep, but
it's hard.
It's hard because let me tell you, when I was driving and it was late at night in Tennessee, in the back roads of Tennessee, I was please don't let me get pulled over.
Right.
He was not getting a very high attention score on the
I was not.
Well, they say. I mean, I love sleep, sleep studies and sleep information. When we were talking about this, actually, I was oh, I have a book that I started, but then I didn't finish it because I fell asleep or I think Annie was did it put you to sleep? And I was yes, it did. But that kind of stuff, it's the data behind sleep deprivation and the fact so you were tired in driving. I forget what it is, but if you get less than X amount of hours of sleep consistently, it's the same as drunk driving. Your attention span and everything is the same as driving blackout drunk.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
I've
get
found
your sleep.
in recent years, I still fall asleep the same way, but if I wake up early, an easy way for me to get back to sleep is to go on my side.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's weird because I've never done that before, but it's just
when you guys wake up, can you go back to sleep?
Yes.
it's hard to.
I can.
I know Nick can.
I'll wake up to turn over, and then I'll go right back to sleep.
I don't. Once I'm awake in the morning, whether it be 4, 5, 6 a.m., I'm well, I guess I'm awake now.
Okay, so, do you find that if one little thing is off, when you sleep, that you can't get to sleep? Because, I know you sleep naked.
Yes.
Yeah. Nick, do you sleep naked?
He sleeps naked.
Okay.
Yes.
Andy sleeps naked. I'm the only one here who sleeps with something on, and I wear...
What do you sleep?
I wear my underwear.
Oh.
Like my boxer briefs and stuff. So
Oh.
like when I move, they ride up, so I have to like pull them back out. So sometimes I'm like, oh god, I'm like, I can't get to sleep
It's an
because
easy problem to solve.
You know what? In hotels with sometimes they have strange comforters, and they're like the thin like sheet comforter sort of things. And if I can't pull it up far enough to get that curl, I don't sleep well. Because everyone's like, oh, hotel sleeps are so good. And I'm like, no, they're not.
I don't sleep.
No, I don't sleep. I've learned recently that I need to bring my pillow with me wherever I go. Because I have like a memory foam pillow. And so it has been a game changer. Because I would have to like use the squishy pillows at hotels, and I have no support.
I mean, you don't
whatsoever.
have to. You can ask them for foam pillows. But like
have
I
foam
usually
pillows at the
forget,
hotel?
they don't have very many, but they'll switch them out for you. And like I don't like the squishy pillows either because I usually will have 2 pillows to sleep on because I like my head elevated.
Yeah,
but like after a while, those just
you
like,
get a
move
sore,
all over the place,
or
and
then you
they
get a
squish.
sore neck. Yeah, it's not a good. So what I've done, and I actually. When I started doing this, I thought about what you had said when you guys traveled with like the vacuum bags. So I vacuum bag my pillow so it takes up less space in the luggage, and then I take that wherever I go. So like that has been a game changer for sleeping because now it's like, oh, my pillow is like the key to the success of my good sleep going in a hotel.
I think the other thing you've mentioned before is the routine and rituals around sleep. Like you have a certain set things you do every night.
Every single day.
I was just going to ask what your sleep.
I wake up every morning and I'm like, what can I do today to get a good night's sleep tonight? And I know that sounds crazy, but like the first thing I think of when I wake up in the morning is how can I get myself into a good like sleep? Because again, I am a poor sleeper and like I don't sleep well. Like I try everything. Like I do CBD, sometimes cough medicine, but it's a strict routine, and like it is a little hard sometimes because it's like 10 o'clock. I try to get into bed every single day, and then I wake up every single morning at 6 a.m. So it's like giving myself a consistent sleeping, a bedtime, and then like wake up time. I don't necessarily need an alarm because I'll wake up 30 minutes plus or minus 30 minutes between like 5:30 and 6:30 every single day. So like went to bed last night at like 10:15 and I woke up at like 6:30 without an alarm.
Yeah, we haven't set. I mean, I almost never set an alarm.
Yeah, I only do it if I'm traveling and stuff like that. Like I set.
Yeah.
How
many do you set?
No. I don't really set one, but like because if I got to be in work at like 7:30, I'll set one or something like that. But like for recently, I haven't been setting one. But when the last night that I was there, because I could only get like 3 hours of sleep or something like that, I set 2 alarms.
Okay,
and I didn't even need it because I got up early anyway because I couldn't sleep because my alarms were on. Yeah. Like, I was like, as soon as I set the alarm, I don't get good sleep because I worry about missing the alarm.
I set, when I was in Europe, I think 10 alarms, 5-minute increments.
Oh my God.
Because I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to miss a flight. Oh my God, I'm going to miss this. Like, and I'm worried, like, I'm not going to have that. So I will do, like, every 5 minutes, and I'll get an alarm.
Okay. Well, like, so, because your only sleep routine is to go to sleep at the same time and everything. Because, like, Andy will,
I have a lot. Well, I don't know. Well, throughout the day, like, I limit caffeine.
Okay.
I don't eat 3 hours before bed. Like, I try to do, like, no screen time or, like, dim time. Like, so at, like, 9 o'clock, I'll, like, dim the lights and, like, try to not watch TV, but then I'll go on my laptop or my phone or my iPad. Because they're smaller screens, so they don't count.
Yeah, so not as much blue light.
But you guys do.
But
I know
Andy
does.
has...
I do a bath ritual. Like, so...
What time?
I take a hot bath right before bed.
Yeah, we go to bed, like, 10:30.
Yeah, and so... It used to be with Cooper. Like I'd walk Cooper at 10 o'clock.
Oh, was like you would take a bath with Cooper?
No, but like Paul was so nice. He'd get my bath ready. For me.
So the perfect temperature. We know that.
I'd come back from walking Cooper, and I'd just soak for 15, 20 minutes, and then I'm like very warm, but calm, and just usually fall right to sleep.
Yeah, they say that. So there's like, again, like not to get too scientific, but the reason why we like end up falling asleep at night is because our body temperature drops. So actually taking a hot bath forces your body temperature to have that change. So it triggers you into getting tired. So if you're having problems, hot baths or hot showers before bed.
Well, it's so weird that you bring that up because it's like I had like these tips for better sleep while traveling, and like a lot of this stuff is on there. Like they say, sleep strategically. They start adjusting your sleep schedule a few days before.
Okay, I tried that.
It doesn't work.
It is hard as fuck. Because
Okay.
think about it. If you're fast forwarding 9 hours to Europe,
Yeah,
that
you have to
is
stay
9
up.
days.
Yeah.
And then, because listen, that in an ideal world, yes, of course that's fantastic. But who has 9 days to get their time zone different?
Right.
No one.
All right, and like go with the flow because it's if you land in the middle of the day, it's best to just stay awake if you can until
Just kind of power through.
yeah.
Yep.
And they were saying something about like you have to get minimum lighting if your flight comes in the morning. Sleep on the plane if you can,
Or try,
Like, it's weird because I see people like with the neck pillows and stuff like that.
I got
sleep
one,
on a plane.
and I couldn't. I cannot for the life of me sleep on a plane.
Oh, so you all watched it Creek, right? So like Moira would have that like sleep helmet thing.
I would get that.
I was like, oh my god. But I can't do any of that stuff because I'm just like, it feels weird to me.
And I get paranoid that someone's going to steal something from me.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
So-
oh, you're going to like pickpocket me or something.
And plus, the last time I fell asleep on a plane, we all know what happened. So it's not a good idea for me. But they say if your flight arrives in the morning, minimize your light exposure until like late morning, early afternoon. Have lunch outside.
Yep.
Maximize your light exposure because that will help.
It's all about the circadian rhythm, and it's tied to light.
Right, and it's like they tell you when you get up in the morning, move your body, and
Yep.
because it increases your core body temperature, so it triggers your circadian rhythm. So I'm like, oh,
Yeah, I mean, again, like I've probably read up and researched sleep ad nauseum, just because it's like, what can I do to get good sleep?
Well, there were also apps that you can download.
There are. They have, and I've used them. There's one, I think it's called like Sleep Cycle, and like basically it will like listen to you as you sleep. But now we have them on our watches.
I don't need somebody
you
listening to
use
me.
I do. It doesn't do anything.
To me, it makes you obsess about your sleep.
I don't look at it whatsoever, because also like I understand like scientifically it's really hard to get a wrist-based reading of like your sleep. You know what I mean? Because like there will be days where it's like you didn't sleep well, and I'm like, I feel great.
But also,
You know.
how do people sleep with their watches on? Because that's what I
You
charge
get
it.
you get used to it. You know what I mean?
know.
So I
Yeah.
think, but like there are other devices too. Like they have rings, and basically like there are various metrics that you can monitor throughout the evening, because like your heart rate drops. And like your core body temperature is cooler, and there are various things that like they will algorithmically, there it is. Like they'll do like mathematical calculations and stuff like that to be like, here's what like we think, but like the only real way is if you do a sleep study. Like, and I'm gonna say like I've seen people like getting hooked up. There's no way you're gonna get a good night's sleep if
I
you do a
know,
sleep
that's the other
study.
thing.
Like
understood
y'all, there's literally like stickies on your forehead and like all over you.
I don't want to have to get a CPAP machine. That's why I'm like, that's why, like, we're sure because, like, you get the CPAP machine and it, like, goes on your face. And I'm like, how do you sleep? Because
Right.
I don't think I can sleep that way because, like,
Right.
you have to fall asleep on your back and I can't
Right.
do that.
And they have like, they're really loud.
Yeah.
And you have to clean them because it's like blowing air, and you could get like bacterial infections in your body.
Oh.
Yeah.
But that's only for sleep apnea.
Right.
And if you're not struggling with that, like waking
Yeah.
yourself up all night, that's
Yeah.
not needed.
You don't have sleep apnea though, right?
No, I don't have sleep apnea.
Yeah.
I don't think I do. I have to do a sleep study to find out.
Don't worry, I'm just.
But
giggling over here.
there are new options out there that are better for those kinds of things. So,
Remember, for a while I was trying to do the Snore Lab.
so Nick used to snore really badly,
A lot.
and
I
I don't know what happened or what changed, but like then there was like he stopped snoring. He's still a little like a light snorer,
But-
but like what he was saying about food, like I know like if there was a night where he had like alcohol, I'm not saying like in excess, but like a little bit, like a couple drinks with dinner or whatever, I'm like, he's gonna snore tonight, and like clockwork, he snores.
The best part though is the Snore app.
It records your snoring.
It records you, so you can go back and you can listen to these things throughout the night.
No, that's Joe, actually. That's not you. That's Joe.
It's just
But he played some of them because
they're
he
just-
would like record it, and he's like, "Oh, I had like a 7 out of 10." I was like, "I need to hear this."
even better. Steve would do it too, and Steve's would just sound like somebody was dying,
Or like a chainsaw.
it's like.
Have you guys ever talked in your sleep?
I don't know. Maybe. I
How
don't
would
know.
you know if you've been talking?
I've heard you talk a couple
I
times.
talk in my sleep. Yeah.
Not often
I don't
though.
think I do ever.
I don't think you do either. Because I told you about like my old roommate, right? Who would
No.
sleep with his eyes open.
Oh no!
I was like, what is going on? Because I woke up one night and I was like, I looked over and I was like, are you staring at me while I sleep? And he was asleep. I'm like, are you awake? Are you awake? No. He was like, that's how he slept. And I'm like, no. The next day I was like, you need to sleep facing the wall.
This is your roommate?
Definitely roommate. Yeah. He was straight.
Oh,
My friend, Val's roommate Bev. If you listen, Bev, she also was an eye-open sleeper, and like, it's just really scary because they're like sleeping, and if they start snoring and their eyes are open, you're like, what the fuck is? It's a mind
It is a
fuck.
mind fuck.
Because, but I can't imagine if you had a roommate and you just turn over and they're staring at you.
But also, if any of our listeners out there are an eye-open sleeper, please like
Let us
email
know,
us
yes.
because I want to know how you do this.
Well, and
Like-
are your eyes dry?
right?
Do
Because
you-
if I sleep with my mouth open,
Right.
I get dry
Right.
throat and dry mouth, and I'm like,
If you wear contacts to sleep, do you have clearer dreams?
oh my god.
Oh, what is it called? Nocturnal lagophthalmos.
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 Yeah.
Did your
It's-
roommate have a stroke?
Up to 5 people are affected, and a person
5%,
may need
5%,
treatment
yeah.
for dry or irritated eyes.
Yeah, because like I'm thinking like
I'm
if-
irritated.
right. It is so creepy.
So
my God.
anyway, so how many pillows do you use when you sleep?
I just used one.
Oh God, like Andy uses one. How many you use, Nick?
3.
3.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got the body pillow
Well, because
in his
my
legs.
body pillow is sometimes is one, but recently I have one through my legs and then I hold on to one and then I sleep with one.
Okay, so you only sleep with one on your head.
Yes.
Okay. Do you like? Because I sleep with 2, and sometimes I have to fold the top one.
I used to do that because I
So-
needed more like.
To get the
to get a
lift.
better angle to help me fall asleep
Oh.
better. That's weird, right?
I should have given you my angle pillow because I tried that for a while. It did not.
Oh yeah, no,
snore.
I don't like those. Andy had one when he had his shoulder surgery,
Yeah.
and so they gave us one of those wedges.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe I'll try sleeping on this. I'm like, no,
It's
'cause
impossible.
I only like my head
It's hard.
Yeah.
elevated. I don't like my whole body elevated.
And then your neck gets sore. Yeah, it's not.
well, and I'm like, I know people are like, well, that's how you have neck problems because your head is at a different angle than the rest of your body. And I'm like, shut up, nerd.
Suck it, bitch. Okay. I'm glad you said that because people will shit on you whatever sleep position you do, and I'm like, people are like the best position's on your back. It's like no, the best position is whatever gets you a good night's sleep.
Gays don't do missionary.
Yes, unless you're me and you have your legs in the stirrups as you start off going to bed.
Okay, and how many blankets do you have on the bed?
We just have one.
Have you all ever used one of those weighted blankets? In the
Yes.
wintertime?
I like them.
I've
I do
used a
too.
weighted blanket before, and I think it's only good for one person because like, if you have like 2 people, it's hard. They're not that big either, but like,
Oh, no,
Ours
ours
is
is
No, I
huge.
have a huge one too.
Ours
For
is
king-
like, it weighs 50 pounds because of how big it is.
Oh my God.
It's for a California king.
Jesus, do you have it on every night?
Only in the winter.
Yeah, so because I was like, oh my God, when I came home yesterday, I was like, oh, it's nice and cool right now, and today it's nice and cool, and I'm like, oh, is it fall? Do we need to get out the weighted blanket? And then I'm like, looking at the weather, and I'm like, no, we're going back
It's going to be 80s. So, but
Something
you
like
guys
that, yeah.
sleep with a weighted blanket during winter?
And they say San Diego has no season.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes
Um,
I
Weighted
grab it.
blanket season.
Yeah,
Sometimes
we-
I grab another blanket because of the way that he does the coil.
oh, okay.
Well, in the moments where it is like that rapid jostling or whatever, I basically rip the covers,
Yeah.
and like jump out of bed
Okay.
for whatever reason. So like he might need like
I just
an
think
so you get
extra.
blackout curtains too.
Oh,
so
we
your
have
neighbors
blackout
can't-
curtains,
so
yes.
your neighbors can't see you naked.
Well, I mean, I think that the neighbors on the street side probably have, as we've talked now that I've realized that you can see in.
We drove by last night. And
You weren't looking hard enough. I'll give you a show.
But like, do you need the temperature to be a certain
Yes.
way?
So that's been an adjustment because I like again, it's scientifically backed that the best sleeping temperature is from 68 to 71 degrees
It's way
Fahrenheit.
too
But it's backed by science.
And
And
he thinks the same thing.
So, but like for me right now, like I'm not having that. So we like it's at like 73, 74.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, it's not bad, but like it is what it is. So like I'll sleep fine, but like my ideal is like freezing cold.
See, me too, because then I want to pull the blankets on me and get all nice and
then you're not sweating.
Warm.
Because if it's too hot, I don't want to sweat. I don't want to wake up sweaty.
Well, that's what they tell you. Like, it's not good for you to sweat. That's making it more uncomfortable, and you won't get good sleep.
Yeah, and it's gross.
Here's the hard part for me though, is that like the seasons are changing. The nights are actually cool, and I can sleep with a fire truck going by. So the windows are sealed up. Like,
Yeah.
So we have to run the air conditioning in the middle of winter to get the temperature.
That must be nice to have central air.
Yeah.
See, we leave the windows open all the time.
I love it.
Basically, and like leave the door open and stuff. Well, not at night when we sleep, but
I can't
like,
with again. It needs to be dead silent.
And we have the fan running.
Yeah.
That's a train thing, though. You can train yourself to be more.
I have tried so hard.
You tried like white noise machines.
I have tried because what happens is I know white noise has no pattern, but my brain is like, we're finding a pattern.
Oh my god, you should try hypnosis.
That's, you know what? Who else was talking? Oh, I was talking with Steve about hypnosis because there was something on Instagram, whatever. He's like, "Have you ever been hypnotized?" I was like, "No," but I also don't know if I'd be a good candidate for hypnotism.
Yeah.
I had like a audio one where it was supposed to, like just calm you and
Did it do
put
anything?
you to sleep.
Oh, well, that's good.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what it told me after.
Well, we all
have
have
a whole bunch of cases of aluminum foil right now.
Paul put it. Buy me this. Make more budinos. Make more of the bonbons.
Well, I mean, we all have our different ways of sleeping, and that's the thing about sleep. It's it's like a thumbprint.
It's very personal.
It's very personal, and it's suited to that one person. So before we go for the week, I want to do our new segment, and I decided not to call it the Opinion Onion. I think a good name, and our listeners can tell us if this is good or not. I'm going to call it I Spy.
Oh.
Something that you see out in every day that you're just like, I wonder why that is. And
I have one.
do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right, go with yours.
Okay, I thought about this today because I went to Target and I don't know what it is, and it might be fashion related, but there's like now this like popularity of wearing like running or like biking sunglasses, the big sunglasses that are like that look like bug eyes as like regular sunglasses.
Oh.
And I'm like, why are you wearing that? Like, just keep an eye out. Like, it's one of those things where, like, once you, like, hear it, like, you're going to see it.
Or, like, once you buy a car, you see that car everywhere.
Yeah, but there's, like, because I have specific glasses for biking because it's, like, that's what I wear when I ride my bike because it's, like, designed for that and it's got, like, ventilation. But these, now, there are people who are wearing those, like, sport sunglasses as their, like, everyday sunglasses.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm like, I don't know why.
Yeah. That's
And they're not, they don't look good. To me, personally thinking. So I was thinking about that. I was like, that is my opinion.
okay.
Kind of Oakley had a lot of sports specific that people just started wearing mainstream. All the time.
But now
And
they're
they look like
ginormous. Like, I'm fine with Oakley glasses, but like these ones are obnoxious. And I'm like, you're not running, girl, at Starbucks with your breakfast iced latte. Like, the only thing you're running to is to get that coffee, which I approve of. What's yours?
So mine is, when I was at the hotel, I noticed this. But guys, when they ride the escalator up, always put their one foot on the top, the one above where they're standing.
I do that!
See what I mean? But when you're coming down, you put both feet on the same step. Isn't that?
And then you like hold on to the handle. Do you hold on to the handle and go like?
You're Captain Jack or something, like Captain Morgan Rum or something like that.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Oh my god.
But I noticed that.
I do that.
I do that too. That's why I noticed it. I noticed the guy in front of me and I'm like,
Wait
weird,
a
because
minute.
the women weren't doing it.
I wonder but I don't know if I always do it.
I always do it. I noticed it too. Like,
I'm gonna think about that. Like, dude.
And also, like, when you're getting on an escalator, do you wait a second and then for the next one to come in, or do you just walk right on?
No. Oh my god, I'm not chaotic like that. No.
Okay.
I'm ordered.
That just means you don't have rhythm.
No, because it's like going into like double dutch. You got to like give it a minute.
I knew somebody who was deathly afraid of escalators, and she would have to wait, especially coming down, wait almost a few seconds before she would finally get on. But it was
my God.
Really a fear, like an innate fear.
It really prevented her from getting to new heights, didn't it?
She couldn't get to my level.
Oh my God. Literally.
Literally. On that note, everyone have
I have one.
Oh, Andy has one. Wow.
Following up on our urinal conversation.
Oh.
Why is it that men, when they're done peeing, have to spit in the urinal?
Wait, people do that.
It
Yeah.
is like a common thing.
Really?
I think I do that.
No. Why?
Nick spits in the urinal as he's peeing with the door open.
Talking to someone.
That's me. 100%.
On the phone.
Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
Wait, so I don't think I've ever heard that. So people will spit in the urinal?
I have seen that.
I've seen it. Yeah.
But is it because...
I don't, but I've
I mean,
like,
I don't have to spit after I pee, but is it
That's
like
that's
here?
exactly what is it?
Is that like a finishing thing, like a period at the end of your sentence, like,
Or like
we're done.
marking my territory?
Yeah, I guess. A couple of shakes and then a spit.
That's gross.
All right, everyone. Have a great week.
Good boy, Cooper. Special thanks to Andrew Smith and Nick Stone for producing the show. If you like us, please follow us at tugayspod on Instagram and visit us online at tugayspod.com. You can find us anywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know topics you'd like to hear. And always remember, stay safe, stay classy, stay sassy, and always stay a little bit trashy. See you next week.